All right, now the second presentation that showcases the extraordinary level of talent in Ontario. Alex Mayhew is based in Toronto. He's an internationally renowned creator of highly innovative, memorable, interactive experiences. Alex leads creative, programming, and technology teams on category-defining projects delivered across a variety of platforms and channels. He combines poetic and aesthetic approaches to user engagement in digital media that blend gameplay with magical worlds to create unique media-based experiences. Alex worked closely with Ontario's Xenophile Media on the development, financing, and production of Time Tremors, an Emmy-nominated transmedia project. Time Tremors, I should add, received funding support from OMDC's Interactive Digital Media Fund. It's just one example of the terrific work now being produced by Ontario companies. Alex's credits also include the multi-award-winning Ceremony of Innocence, created for Peter Gabriel's Real World. Alex is going to reflect on the lessons learned in previous augmented reality projects and will preview and discuss his new project, Reblink, an exciting collaboration with the Art Gallery of Ontario that aims to reimagine the traditional gallery experience. Alex.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a really good introduction. Thank you. And I must get that down. And Pietro, where's Pietro gone? Do you mind if I steal that quote? Art inspiring, technology. Okay, I'm going to steal it again. I think it's perfect because I think it's very apt for what I want to talk about, and certainly that's been a pattern in my own work and career where art has informed technology and technology has informed art. So I've always had one foot in the art world in some way, in the digital art world mostly, and one in the design world. And I've also spent considerable time in the no man's land in between. I'm going to show you two projects, one which was mentioned earlier, Time Tremors, and the other, Reblink, which is, one is more design focused, the other one's more art focused. The thing that they both have in common is they're both based at the, well, partly based at the Art Gallery of Ontario, and they both use augmented reality. So I brought this project to Toronto, to Xenophile Media, many years ago, where myself and Patrick Crow worked very hard to bring it to life, and thank you, OMDC, for the support. It was a treasure hunt. It is a treasure hunt across time and space. It was a kids' show on CBC in Canada and ABC in Canada, and ABC in Australia, and a series of apps and games. And one of the apps took place at the Art Gallery of Ontario. It essentially involved players moving around the gallery, playing the treasure hunt, with augmented reality elements. They needed to explore the exhibits, follow clues, and discover rare time treasures. I can show you a little video. I don't know who that weird-looking guy is in the video, but that was a couple of years ago now, and things move very quickly in this world and with technology. It did, in some respects, very well, in other respects, not very well. And I just want to break that apart a little bit. It did get an international, no, it was nominated for an international Emmy Award, and it got an iKids Award. And for me, the biggest success in terms of the user experience was that the AGO's chief problem with kids is that they always wanted to leave before their parents did. And they'd be dragging their parents out. What we managed to do, I'm proud to say, is turn the tables. And now the parents wanted to leave before the kids, and the kids didn't want the experience to finish. So it won awards. It did increase engagement. It got great reviews and press. And it also was a great way for the AGO to control footfall, especially to those corners of the gallery that most visitors didn't get to or even knew existed. However, there were challenges. And these challenges, in a way, are as important as the successes, because I believe and I hope that I've learned from them and taken on to the next project. The exhibits constantly moved around. We were told they hardly ever move, that we don't need to worry about it. When you're building treasure hunt that goes from A to B to C to E to F to G, if B disappears, you've got a problem. The whole hunt goes down. And our system at the time wasn't built in a smart enough way to do quick updating. In fact, there was an issue that, you know, even some of the people at the AGO didn't know that some stuff had moved because they have so many different departments there. So that was a real issue. Marketability too. An institution like the AGO and other galleries are used to fixed term exhibitions that run in a particular space. The AGO, the Time Tremors app happened all over the gallery. And there was no fixed time to it. So it didn't fit into a conventional marketing strategy. They didn't really know what to do with it in that sense, but they did a great job trying. Market appeal, it was focused at kids, therefore naturally it's a limited market, but also it's very much location specific. Only people that go to the Art Gallery of Ontario or the Horniman Museum in London could actually play Time Tremors location-based hunts. So the other challenge really was cost. I mean, we all know that you have to pay to get into a lot of museums in this country, and then you have to pay for an app on top of it. It's an issue. So what was next, and what did I learn? I had no idea what was next. I was exhausted at the end of that project. It was a massive transmedia project, and I wanted to do something smaller. I knew that, and I wanted to do something that took me back a little bit to my art roots. So I knew that I wanted to do something with augmented reality because that was one of the main successes of the app. We always got very positive comments about that. But I knew what we did with Time Tremors was only scratching the surface. I'd spent a lot of time at the AGO on the production of Time Tremors, and the piece depicted in many of the paintings were at stark contrast to the day-to-day hectic bustle of modern-day life. That gave me the idea. I needed a proof of concept, though, so I built an app, and I filmed the proof of concept in action. I'll also be showing a little bit of it later up there if any of you want to play it.
Blink is a digital intervention art project, providing a modern-day reframing of the past. I've always been fascinated by this painting. The way that the boys are huddled together, drawing lots, free from modern-day distractions. I felt it was interesting to contrast this scene and the way that we live today.
Amazing.
It's fascinating.
Amazing. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really... It's incredible.
I've never seen anything like it. I love it. And you say you have more of these?
A married couple frozen in time. So close, yet so far. But as much as technology can separate us, it can also bring us together.
We usually don't have the tools to understand what we see, or we see something, we don't see what it meant then anymore. But with these things, you actually help us interpret what we ever see in a modern context, which also makes the original piece make more sense, in a way, for us, in this world now.
Okay, I'm going to move on. So the opportunities really for Blink, as it was called originally, is to create a connection with the exhibits where there was perhaps no connection before. This was it is a particular issue when it comes to younger visitors viewing very old pieces of work. There's often very little connection between the two. By providing a modern day frame of reference, we provide a connection. One of the main factors for the AGO is that it's educational in that it makes the visitor consider the original piece and reconsider without it being didactic. And especially important for regular visitors to the AGO is that it refreshes the viewing experience without having to move stuff around. It's also versatile. It doesn't matter if they move the paintings this time. It doesn't matter if they put them away. It will still work. It will work with the exhibition that we're going to put on, but it will work beyond the exhibition. Did I mention that this is going to be for Canada 150, the actual exhibition we're doing? I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And the other thing that we found with our testing is that it had wide market appeal. It seemed to appeal to very young and very old and everything in between. So because of these factors, and the AGO have decided for this exhibition to happen for Canada 150, I get to go and choose the paintings from the collection and go into the vaults and choose whichever paintings I want. Whilst waiting for the contract to come through, I had plenty of time to contemplate the project. And there was an article in the New York Times that said that despite people queuing up for hours to see the most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa, they'd only spend an average of 15 seconds looking at it. This is typical for all works of art in galleries and does not take into account just the people that pass by and glance or don't even look at the painting. So those people actually stop. So with the disposable culture of the Instagram-obsessed mobile device-toting generation, this issue is expected to get worse and could be a real problem for galleries in the future. In fact, is a problem. And then I realized the beautiful irony of what I was doing, or the double-edged sword. With the very devices that accelerate the consumption of culture, I could actually slow down the viewing process, promoting pause and reflection, potentially enabling the visitor to reach deeper levels of engagement, maybe than even before mobile phones existed. So I started to think the system could be extended to different types of augmented reality and different types of content experiences, but I'd need help, a producer with the chops and the connections, and that's where this great company comes in, and Amit Brewer, the producer. We renamed the project to Reblink and brought the URL, and the thought is digitized museum content is connected via the back end to a content management software. The system, the museums use the CMS, or the content management system, to apply the types of augmented reality content they want for any number of exhibits. This gets delivered to the visitor by smartphones and tablets via the cloud. This will form a two-way connection with a variety of media, activities, additional revenue streams. Not only will it serve content and functionality to the visitor, but it will also feed back vital metrics to the museum about visitor engagement. With this model, we will accelerate scalability, creating a turnkey solution for augmented reality that is quick to install and can be handed off to the management to deal with the content. So what about the customer side? What does the visitor experience? So the types of content packs we will deliver fall into these categories. They have been defined in our research as chief wants for museums and visitors alike. Just an example, this particular content pack falls under the informational category. It demonstrates X-ray functionality, so you can go and have a look at previous versions of a painting underneath the paint. And so this content pack is not a sexy name, I know, so we want to call it a lens, like looking through a looking glass. It's much more of a magical feel. So we're thinking about the experiences or the content packs as a series of lenses, each presenting a different reality to the user. And our functionality that we've coined Lens Shift will enable visitors to change lenses and views with a swipe of a finger. And I think I've run out of time. I was going to talk a little bit about the future and mixed reality. So if you want to ask questions about mixed reality, I'll be happy to do it in the question and answer session. Thanks.
Thank you, Alex. We can probably take one question before we have to move on.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Is there one question? I know you gave us a lot of food for thought there, Alex, and a visual feast. Okay, maybe. We do have one here.
When do I get to customize my personal art gallery in my house?
Okay, hold on. Try that again with the microphone.
When do I get to customize my personal gallery in my house?
As soon as we make it, potentially, you can do that. We can talk business later. The other thing I wanted to add, though, is that it will work for vertical markets too. So we're looking at book publishing. We've been approached by Brian Froud, who's the guy that created the Labyrinth, he created the monsters in the world. His wife designed Yoda, and he's the international best-selling author and artist. He's really interested in the platform as a means that they can use it to attach all types of content onto books, to revitalize the print format, in essence. So they can add author annotations or make the monsters come alive or any number of pieces. And we would build a set of lenses for book publishing. That's the general idea.
Well, that's great. Alex, thanks so much. And Pietro as well, that was our Postcards from the Leading Edge section. You know why we called it that. That was extraordinary, both of them. Thanks so much for doing that.